Hey everyone, Charlie Day from Day to Day Senior Care. How are you? All right, welcome to our episode 3, the Red Tape Reality Check, Licensing and Insurance. Okay, so before I start, I just want to introduce myself. I'm the owner founder of Day to Day Senior Care, and we're just doing some great things right now. We're out there and we're helping families, and we have clients that we're serving 5 days a week, 24-hour care, live-ins, and a new one that we just recently started in an assisted living facility. So we're out there and we're doing the right things. But today I wanted to share more of what if you're looking to start your own business. Let me just check here my mic, make sure I got this. Hold on one second. Seems like it's too low. Does that sound better? Here we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay. So thank you everyone for being with me for these past couple of episodes. Last week we did our episode. This one today is goes in deeper into how to start your business, whether in assisted living, home care, daycare. A lot of them are similar, and I'm from New York, so what I'll be discussing today is you know ways to get this taken care of here in New York State, because every state's different. Okay. Uh, let's see. So I do have a script. I know sometimes I go unscripted, and I will actually do that, but just to have something to stay focused, because I tend to go here, there, left, every. So, all right, all right. So thank you again, and here we go. So I am going to put the presentation up too for you. All right. And I just want to make sure everyone can see it. And I'm going to share the screen. And there we go. Okay. So Day to Day Senior Care Consultant Services presents episode 3, the Red Taped Reality Check, Licensing and Insurance Simplified. So first, we have to look at, let me get this here. Okay. So first, we need to look at state by state rules. Okay. So there is no national standard. That's why I had said that every state has their own specific regulations, policies, applications. Um, you must locate your specific state's licensing body today. Do not sign a lease or hire anyone until you know exactly what your state requires. So it's a lot of research, folks. Um, with my business and my, I look at it first. Right now, I'm doing non-companion care here in New York State. I mean, non-medical companion care here in New York State. So I know what the rules are. I did my LLC. I got everything licensed, and um, I've looked at assisted livings. I've looked at them over the last 10 years, because I was already considering possibly going to start an assisted living, a smaller version, because I've noticed in other states you have 20 residents in a residential home. Somebody buys the real estate, the owners, they get the operator license, and then they admit residents that need assisted living. But instead of going to the big assisted livings, the ones everyone knows, the Atrias and the Bristols, and because although they have great services and they've got luxurious style living and they've got the best food out there, um, some people can't afford that month to month. So there is a need. I know it. It's in a need here in New York State. It's something I've thought about for a while, but my approach is, let me just start working with seniors, and then we take it from there. Good business model to have is, don't jump into everything at once. I learned that real fast, and I had a lot of family that also grounded me. All right. Um, so just remember that. Now there's a 3 to 9 month waiting period as well. in New York. Okay. And honestly, it can go even longer than that. Okay. For anything that you want approved through the Department of Health or the Department of Social Services. Um, let's see. I should be able to click it in here. All right. I'm going to make that work. This way I could see. How do I do that again? Okay. So I'll just go back to my spot here. Okay. So if we look next, even if you own the business, you usually need a specific administrator certificate to run it, especially for assisted living. Plan for 40 to 8 hours of initial training just for yourself. Okay? So, now we look at the three opportunities in the field. So again, the assisted living, you've got a lengthy application that has to be submitted. When you go into home care, another lengthy application needs to be submitted. And if you wanted to open up a adult daycare center, the same thing. Okay. Um, now, here's the thing. I know many of you that are viewing have seen other how to start your own senior care businesses. I've seen the bigger ones. I've seen the ones where you get a free book and you join and pay $50 and you attend an online workshop. Get all that, okay? But the bottom line, folks, is as a business owner, you still need to have some experience to show the state that not only do you have the passion, but you've got the knowledge, you've got the education. Okay. So not every application gets approved. So you have to have some experience. If you're a nurse, that's always good. If you've worked in healthcare for 10, 20 years, perfect. Okay. Um, all good. But the most important thing is to if you're looking to do that, maybe take some educational classes um, prior. Um, you may want to continue at your current position where you're at while you're looking to jump in. Um, so if anyone has any questions too, that's right. I have a little chat here on the right. Let me just open it up so I can see if anyone from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube is listening. Okay. But, yeah, you definitely need to be certified, um, in certain things. Let's move on here. See, administrative certifications, all right? I already spoke about some of this. There's administrative training programs you can go through, okay? When I was awarded a certificate back in, it was late '90s, early 2000s. I gotta think back here. I don't have my resume next to me. But, yeah, I worked in, an assisted living called the Henry, Perkins Adult Home. It was out in Riverhead, and, they were in jeopardy. New York State was looking to close them because they had a ton of deficiencies. They hired me to go in. I left a very good position, but I was working for my master's in education at Long Island University, and in order to graduate with my master's in public administration, healthcare administration specifically, I had to do field work, an internship. So instead of doing it without getting paid, it was just the perfect moment. The owners needed me to go in there and correct everything and get that plan of correction into the state so that they could continue to operate. Okay, it's a method. I'm not going to get into all those details. I'm here to talk about starting a business, but I did take care of all of that and got them in compliance. Um, so but I needed to be an administrator. How did I become a New York State adult home administrator, assisted living administrator? Back then, I had to do a little bit of some training. I had to have education. I needed at least a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree with 3 years. I don't know the exact details, but they approved me because I did have my bachelor's, in psychology. Um, so, and I went and I had experience, obviously. I came from the Jefferson's Ferry retirement community that I was there for a few years as a director, and then I had managers and other roles. I was started out as an aide, so that like 10 years experience helped me get that position. Background checks and fingerprinting also very important. Okay, guys, ladies, because if you're looking to start a business and be regulated by this Department of State in whatever state you're in, you need to make sure that you're qualified. Now, there are certain people that there are certain situations you put in the truth that if you had a DWI, whatever, all those kind of things. Um, but you have to be upfront with all that. Okay, and this is all prior to even getting the application to the next level, and that's in all three: home care, adult daycare centers, and assisted living, folks. So, okay, the non-negotiable insurances. You've got the insurance type, and what it actually covers. So what I did here is I just wanted to show you basically how, like general liability, you have to have that because of the slips, the falls, the property damage. Now, as an LLC, if you take on an LLC as opposed to a partnership LLC or a corporate or nonprofit or however you're going to go, um, you still have to have these insurances. So the LLC has a limited liability insurance and will cover you under certain situations. So like for instance, if somebody tries to sue you because of negligence or something you did, and then they find out that that it's not true, or that you did your due diligence and everything is covered in your paperwork and your incident reports, then that's different. You get that liability. Okay. You get some help with New York State, and then you got your professional liability, which everyone needs to have when you have a business too, because caregivers can make mistakes. There's malpractice. Somebody slips and falls. um, Especially when you're in home care, you have nurses and home health aides. We're a companion program, non-medical right now, our business. But once I go to get my operator's license, um, I'll have to make sure that I, add all these other things to the policy. So, and then of course, workers' comp, employee on the job injuries. Now, when you're starting a business, again, if you're under the DOH regulations, everything has to be, you have to have employees, payroll, withholdings, workers' comp. If you're doing non medical and you're doing companion, you have two choices. You can do payroll, you can do tax withholding with the state, you can also do contract labor. You make sure that you go to the New York State Department of Labor. You print out that copy there that you give to a contractor that comes in to do work for you, whether it's services in an assisted living facility or in a private home, and someone's going to help your business, and you're going to pay them. Make sure you give them that. Make sure you give them that 1099 so that they can claim their taxes. Okay. I know we have 30 minutes. I could go on. Let me just check. 14-minute check. Okay. What is this? Yeah. Mm, okay. Mm. All right. So get back in there again. Go to the next one. Okay. Next steps. Action item. Okay. I'm just getting my paper over here. Ready? Okay. On the screen. I think I missed. Let me just slide 6. Oh, yeah. Okay. What you need to do. Did I skip one? I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I skipped here. Okay. So the timeline reality check. Week 1 to 4, form the LLC and the business plan. Okay. So, what do we mean by that? Any questions before I go forward? I am going to take a peek here again. Okay. No problem. Okay. No questions. Okay. So, week 1 through 4, forming your LLC and business plan. So, the first 4 weeks, the way I did it when I started last year, before December, I started getting all the paperwork together to form the LLC for the business. Day to Day Senior Care Consultant Services LLC. Okay, so I made a few mistakes. It's not a simple process. There are, I always say, just to folks, there's also a lot of those campaign ads out there that, especially on YouTube channel and other places, media places. Yes, you call me, come for $495. We will get you an LLC. We'll put it all together for you. We'll submit the articles of organization from the publishing companies that need to take your evidence of your business is in existence. So you have to publicly place them in newspapers, one for 6 weeks daily, and one for um, weekend, once a week. Uh, yeah, 6 weeks on each, once a week. So, for instance, Newsday runs it once a week for 6 weeks, and a local one does it 5 days a week or whatever. So it's all weekly. Weekly they call it for 6 weeks. Okay. Once you get that done, then you got to wait for that to come back, and you get your they call it the certificate of publication, and you have to give that back to New York State, and that you have a website, like you go in, you can do all this online. Okay, you pay them $50, whatever, and then they send it in. There are fees. There's fees for the publication. Okay, there's fees. Some of them can charge up to, oh boy, let's see, it was like 400, $500 total for me to do all that. And but it was still cheaper than if you would have gone with any of those campaign uh, ads where they're telling you they'll form the LLC for you. It's just, you just have to be very, you know, very careful how you do everything. And yes, I mean, they've been doing it for a while, so they can do it for you if you prefer that, but you can do it on your own. Um, Again, I had to go, I had to register with the Department of Taxation, New York State, the federal government, um, everything. I had to get the business name. It had to be perfect. And then I had to put it together in what they call the Articles of Organization, which needs to be submitted within 90 days. Um, and same thing with the publication. Everything's got to go in timely. And then you'll get approved for the New York State to open up the doors to your business. Coffee's good. Mm. Okay, so week 5 to 12. Okay, complete state application. So get it completed, get it in, and it doesn't take that long um, to get your LLC. But now, when you get into the state applications, now you want to open up the adult home. I mean, the assisted living. Now you want to take on uh, the medical care agency, home care, or you want to do the adult daycare center. Okay. You have to go to the Department of Health's website, find the appropriate application, and get it all in. Okay. And again, make sure you have all the material that you need. It's a lot of documents. They're going to ask for everything, right down to your moral character, background, everything. Get it all done. I know I've when I do decide to send that application in um, for my home care license, with day-to-day senior care. It'll be a new division in our program. Um, but I'm going to have it ready. And the reason I bring this up is this, folks. This is why I'm glad you're on our program, because I tell it like it is, raw. Okay. Unscripted, this part. I'm not looking down. it it's very, very difficult to get everything together in a timely fashion. So you got to stay very focused. Okay. They're going to do a pre-audit before they award you a license. So number one, you've got to have a place, a business address, preferably brick and mortar. You have to have all your policies and procedures that New York State requires for a home care agency or for assisted living or for an adult daycare center. All has to be done. And then there's campaign ads out there for people that'll do that for you. But the bottom line is you can, I don't want to say copy and paste, but New York State has all the regulations and they want you to take those and make them into policies and procedures for your New York State facility. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire the administrator, because as an operator, folks, you cannot be the administrator. So I'm going to take my active nursing home administrator and all the other certificates I've gotten, and I'm going to keep them on me as the owner, but I have to hire a special administrator who I will train to run the nursing care, the home care part of that. If it was an assisted living facility, same thing. The operator owner can't be the administrator as much as you want to, as much as I would. Well, I'd love to, to be able to, be in their hands on, but I can do it from behind the scenes because I will train that person. I've got all the knowledge. I've done it for 3 decades working in senior care and getting all my licenses and degrees. And I've trained a lot of people, directors. I've had 10 directors at one time working in 280 to 400 bed facilities. So you can just imagine how much knowledge and experience you get over time. And to apply that back uh, to the person I hire or the persons I'm going to hire, because I have other things going on too. But the persons I hire, I'm going to make sure that they are adequately trained. And New York State, that's another thing, folks. Weeks 5 to 12, you might as well add another week to that because you have to have all your staff ready when that state comes in and says, okay, we're ready. Show me your stuff. Show me your books. Show me your policies. Who's your administrator? Who's your director of nursing? I better check the time, folks. I could go on here. Okay, I'm at the 23-minute mark. All right. Any questions? No. Okay. I'm gonna go back. Um, we're gonna have what do you call? We'll have to move on because I could see already. I only got one thing left to do. I'll go into that in a second. So get that complete state application taken care of um, properly. And the way to summarize that whole thing, because I got off track, to summarize it all is I'm doing this is how I'm doing it. I am taking my time, slow growth, you know. First I want to build the non-medical. Okay, I want to show New York State when they come to me, because even though I got the licenses and the certificates and all that, I still need to show them how passionate I am about this business and how ready I'm prepared to take that step into home care, because they're going to see, oh, you did 3 years helping people out in their homes and assisted livings and nursing homes and transitioning families in from hospital discharges to other places. Well, it's because um, I just overheard someone talking. It's because I'm able to do that. All right. So that's the way I'm doing it. Slow growth wins, folks. All right. When the time is ready, I'll know. And then take the $2,000 it's going to cost to get that application to New York State. And there's no guarantee they'll approve me, so they could keep that money All right. Anyone that puts the money, it's not like you're going to get it back. If they say you're denied, you can try again. You can appeal. Absolutely. And it's very hard to get any of these in New York State because there are so many. They're inundated with the larger assisted livings, and real estate is so expensive. That's why I'm going up to our first move out of New York State is going to be in Maine. And if any of you want to know more about that, you can go to my podcast on I just had it come out live in Maine. My maintenance director and I partnered up there, and we're going to do non-medical companionship up there. But you know what? Up there, they're licensed. When I was up there running an assisted living and nursing home up there, you didn't need to have a New York State DOH license to do non-medical home care. Well, now you do, and I think New York State will eventually probably do that as well. So you want to get all your ducks in a row, folks, anyway, as you go forward. For the older folk that have been, the franchised folks and the older people that have jumped in years or decades ago, they're already in. But to get in now, it's going to get harder and harder. So get yourself prepared. And I'm not saying you can't start your business now, but just, you want to make sure that you've got all that materials. And these campaign ads, they don't share all that with you. So you come see me. I have expert consultation services. Just go to my website. All right, let's get into the last one, which is week 12 through 24. We've got 4 minutes left to discuss this in our 30-minute podcast. State survey and approval. Okay, so now we're at the point. The auditors come in to any of our three facilities, okay? That whatever we chose, whether, now in adult daycare, they're going to come in, they're going to see how it's set up, they're going to look at everything, they're going to audit your staff, they're going to see what activities are going to be involved in that daycare center. How is your transportation set up? Is it in the right location? All that, okay? And then eventually you'll be awarded your approval. In the assisted living facility, same thing. They're going to go into your home, whether you bought a 20 residential bed facility, or you and started it from scratch, because some people have money to build it from scratch, or you take on a larger one. There are differences with 20 beds as opposed to anything over 100. I'm not going to get into that tonight, but and then there's enhanced assisted living, and there's enriched, and all of these that I seen decades ago when they were just just assisted living specifically, and then lobbyists and everybody went ahead and started getting these more enhanced uh, licenses to be able to do more for our residents in the senior care assisted living facilities, like Hoyers and other things that they can keep people there longer, so they don't have to go in a nursing home. Okay. And then if you're going to do the home care, same thing. They're going to want to see all your policies and everything. They've seen everything. Now, what you got to do is they're going to interview everybody. They may want to watch you get ready to show them something that you need to do with a resident. If you are, make sure, folks, too, if you are going for your home care and you have a non-medical right now and you want to do home care, just make sure that everything in non-medical is non-medical, because if they ask for something from there, technically you are not supposed to be doing anything until you get that license approved. So you cannot do any wound care or perineal care or any of that stuff. Okay. All right, folks. I tried to jam it all in within 30 minutes, and I see we're running down the clock. Any questions? I could run it over. All right. Okay. So again, I'm Charles Day from Day to Day Senior Care. Thank you all for attending my starting your own senior care business. We will be back next week. What we're going to do is, I was thinking we maybe get into finding your state regulations, funding your mission. Let's see how we can fund that your mission. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you all very, very much, and have a great weekend. See you next Friday.